Hello, this is Sylvia. Today we're going to do a quick yoga class. It will probably be no more than 30 minutes. So we're just going to get right to it. You can start off in an easy pose as you're sitting on the mat. Legs can be crossed, or if it's comfortable for you, you can have your legs forward, stretched out forward. You can rest on your back in mountain pose or standing up, but find a comfortable position or pose to sit in. If you're sitting in the easy pose, that's what I'm sitting in right now, allow the back to be straight, shoulders away from the ears. And we get started on our breathing, inhaling through the nose. Allow the body to expand. Exhale out through the mouth. We'll do it again. Inhaling through the nose. And exhale out through the mouth. Let all that negative energy out. Toxins, anything that's not serving us, we're going to exhale it out. Breathe in again, inhaling through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. You should feel that burden release as you exhale out. We'll do that a few more times. You can do it on your own. Doing the breaths on your own, at your own pace. Exhale out. Eyes can be closed or gaze down towards the floor. And so while we're here in our easy pose and we're still working on our breath, we'll take this time to center our minds and the body, bring it to one, letting go of anything that's not serving us in a positive way. We're letting it go right now, just for the moment. And speaking of moment, that's what we're focused on, this present moment. Do a few more breaths before we go into our warm-up. When you're ready, you gaze up towards the screen or open up the eyes. And we're going to go into cat-cow. So we're going to be in tabletop position. We'll use this pose to warm up the body. So here, we're in that tabletop position. Knees are stacked under the hips. Wrists stacked under the shoulders. And so we're going to round our back on an inhale. Exhale, sorry. Rounding back, exhaling. Allowing that chin go towards the chest. Tucking in that belly button. Coming out of this cat, we're going into cow, where now the belly button goes towards the mat. Opening up the shoulders, gazing up towards the ceiling for our cow. Going to exhale out for cat. Round in the back. Tucking the chin. Feeling that stretch in the back. And inhale as we go into cow. Allow that tailbone, that crown to come towards each other. Again, round the back. Exhale out. Tucking the chin. Feel that stretch. And inhale for cow. Last one. On the exhale, cat, round in the back, tucking the chin. And inhale for a cow. And let's come into neutral position so you bring that belly back in. And so here we're just going to look towards our hip. So the head is moving and that hip is coming towards each other. And then we'll go to the side. Hip and common head is trying to meet each other. And then go to the side. One last time. Going to the other side. Back to neutral position. So here in this tabletop we have one more warm-up we'll do, and we're going to go in clockwise. Going around, we're just taking the whole body in a circle. So you're going forward and then to the side, going back and then back out to the side. So you see that circle you're creating? Our body likes this. 2 more. Last one. And then gonna go counterclockwise, going to opposite direction. Oh, feels really good. Waking up the body, waking up the muscles. Want to focus on the hips. I know a lot of us are maybe in quarantine, and so this is the last one. So we're doing a lot of sitting. We're at home. So here, I want you to bring the head towards the mat. Allow the head to hang. You feel it in the neck, opening there between the shoulders and the ears. And release. Come back to that neutral position. We're going to go into a child's pose. You have the option of bringing the toes together. Knees are wider than shoulder width, or they can be together, but you're bringing the tailbone towards the heels of our feet. We can stack the wrists, or we can rest the head on the mat. Allow the hands to be out, stretched towards the top of the mat. Hands out towards the top of the mat. Or we can stack the wrists. And breathe. From here, palms are resting on the mat. We're going to a downward facing dog. So we'll come out back into a neutral position. We're going to curl our toes, bringing the tailbone towards the ceiling. Allow the head to rest between the arms. And we'll wake up those calves and the ankle by alternating the heel lift off the mat, as you can see. And so we'll allow the heels to rest on the mat. So we're going to walk our hands towards our feet. So find that flat surface. And we'll come all the way up. Bent knees will come all the way up. Hands at the side. Palms come together at heart center. So now we're at the top of the mat. If you're not there, let's make our way to the top of the mat. And we're going to do one set of sun salutation on each side. So I'm in the middle of my mat just so you can see me. But as we are at the top of our mat, we're going to inhale as we raise the hands up towards the ceiling. Exhale, we'll swan dive. Hands at the side. Come towards the mat. Now we're in that forward fold. We'll come up halfway as the hand rests on the shin. And then back down. Want to bring the left foot back. So scoot up a little bit. So now we're in that crescent lunge. Or we could be in a kneeling lunge as we bring that knee onto the floor. The kneeling lunge will look like this. Hands up towards the ceiling. This is the other option. Allow that hips to be square towards the top of the mat and feel that stretch in the quad. So we're still in our sun salutation. So here in this crescent lunge or kneeling lunge, we want to bring the front foot back as well into either a child's pose if you're in a kneeling lunge, or if you're in a crescent lunge, we're going back for a downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, child's pose, we're going into a kneeling plank or plank. Kneeling plank. And we're going to bring our chin towards the mat. Keep those arms close to the body as we go into chaturanga. And then the lower body comes onto the mat. Going into cobra, bring the chest off the mat. Arms still close to the body. Going back to downward facing dog or child's pose. Oop. Slide off the mat. Going to bring that right foot forward for either back to kneeling lunge or crescent lunge. Bring the back foot forward. Down that forward fold again. Feet could be together or shoulder width apart. Coming all the way up at the bent knees. Inhaling, exhale, palms come together at heart center. We're back where we started. Now we're just going to go to the other side. Inhaling, exhale, swan dive. This time the right foot goes back for crescent lunge or kneeling lunge. Kneeling lunge. Now we're stretching out the other quad on the opposite side. Or we can be in a crescent lunge, coming on to the toes. Find that breath. Going into down facing dog. Bring the hands towards the mat. You're going to bring that front foot back for either downward facing dog or child's pose. Going into plank or kneeling plank. Hands close to the body. Going into chaturanga. And then cobra. Going back to downward facing dog or child's pose. Make sure you don't slide off the mat this time. Bring that right foot, left foot up towards the ceiling for three-legged dog. And we'll go forward towards the top of the mat for kneeling lunge or crescent lunge. Leaning forward, I'm going to bring that foot forward, however that looks for you. Back in that forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Hands, palms come together. Hands at heart center. That was the sun salutation. Feel free to do more of those on your own time as you wake up in the morning. It's a great thing to do to really energize the body and stretch a lot of areas of the body. So we're going to our workout, which will be really quick. First thing we're going to do is a forward fold. So this is our yoga flow. So we already did in the warm-up a forward fold, quite easy. And I'm going to stand to the side so you can see both ways. But for forward fold, we're stretching out the hips, giving a lot of, I told you, we're sitting all day. And so we want to give flexibility for the hips. So feet are shoulder width apart. Shoulder width apart. And so on that inhale, hinge at the hips. Hands come towards the mat. Here's our forward fold. The head is heavy. Face this way as well. Head is heavy. We're still breathing in this pose. Find the breath, inhaling. Maybe counting to 1, 2, 3. Maybe count to 4 or 5. Every person is different with the breaths. You might find sinking breath as you inhale and exhale back out. You might go a little bit deeper into that stretch. Might find space. This is our last inhale. And exhale out. Slight bend in the knees as we come all the way up. Inhale. Exhale, hands at the side. Going to the next one. We have the prayer squat. One of my favorite ones. So the prayer squat, we have a few options. We can be standing shoulder width apart and not use the block at all. You find a slight squat. Shoulders relaxed. Long spine. There's a long spine. And you can go a little bit deeper. The hands can rest on the thighs or it can be folded. Here's the prayer squat. Feet are wider. You still feel it in the hips. The other option is you find 2 blocks depending on the width of the block. And you can actually sit on it. And you'll be in that pose a little bit longer. So when you sit on that block, hips are a little bit wider. Elbows rest between the legs. Shoulders relax. Long spine. Find the breath. I like the blocks because I can stay a little bit longer. So if there's need for taking care of our knees, this would be a great option using the blocks. This is also a good pose to do. Sitting all day, really open up those hips. Find flexibility in those hips as well. So coming out of that pose, one more inhalation. And exhale out. You can bring your hands towards the mat. Come all the way up. Maybe heel toe the feet together. Come all the way up. Inhaling. Exhale. Hands at the side. So, I think this is probably our last flow. So this one is a double. We have the plank to downward facing dog. So it's a total body workout. You know, every muscle is at work for this pose or for this yoga flow. And we're going to do it for 10 times. 10 times, and then we'll be done. We'll be done. Then we'll cool down. So that's why it's 10 times, because this is the last exercise. I say the best for last. All right, so for plank, have a long spine in the back, shoulders stacked over the wrists, of course. Also, you can do a kneeling plank, and you come from kneeling plank to a down child's pose. So kneeling plank, shoulders are stacked over the wrists, and then you come back for child's pose. Kneeling plank, child's pose. You do that 10 times. Or we can go from a plank to a downward facing dog. So it's either kneeling plank to a child's pose, or a plank, full plank to a downward facing dog. Or you could do a dolphin. It kind of looks, if you're on your forearms, it could be a dolphin pose. But going into plank, keep that core tight, engaged. Here's the plank, downward facing dog. Coming back to plank, downward facing dog. Plank. This is the third one. Last 5. 3, 2, sliding, and 1. Bring the knees to the floor. Child's pose. And breathe. Find that center. Allow the heart rate to come back down. All right. So that was our quick yoga session. We're going to go down for a cool down. Start off with lion butterfly. So we're going to rest on our backs. This is how we look. And here's the butterfly if we're sitting up, which isn't an option, but we're cooling down. So I'm going to rest on my back for the lion butterfly. You got, if you got blocks in that lion butterfly, the blocks can rest right under the leg. It's uncomfortable, or blanket, bolsters. But find something to rest under the leg. Allow the body to melt onto the mat. Soles of the feet come together. Perhaps you might find some sensation you're not used to feeling, maybe. Two more breaths, inhale in and exhale out. Nice work. Bring the knees together. Now the feet are at the width of the mat. And so we're just going to do some windshield wipers with the legs. So we alternate the knee coming inward. Where's the hips? You'll feel a lot of mobility in those hips doing this round. It also can feel like a mini massage in the lower back. Feels really nice. Your body will thank you later for this. Last one. Knees to chest. Head to sign out. Still on our backs. Bring those knees towards the chest. Hands will be resting under the leg or on top or even on the shins. But you want to bring the knees towards the chest. And breathe. And release. Bring the feet back onto the floor. Our last one before we go all the way down to final relaxation. We'll bring the knees into the chest one more time. And this time, we'll take it off the mat onto the floor for spinal balance. Opening up the arms, facing the opposite direction of those knees. Of course, we have to go to the other side. So bring the head back center and then the knees. And then take it to the opposite direction or opposite side of the mat. Opening up the arms, facing the opposite direction. Bring the head back center, then the knees. Bring the feet onto the floor. Allow the legs to extend out on the mat. Open up those arms, palms facing the ceiling. They can be at your side or out. Whatever's comfortable for you. We're in that final relaxation where we just rest on the mat. Finding that center again. Closing the eyes. Gazing down. Find maybe a prop to help you with your final relaxation. Find your breath. And just release everything. Take all the tension away from the neck, shoulders. The face is turned up. Allow that face to be neutral.